Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video. Today we've got Decklist 1 of 2 for King Vegeta, the new structure deck leader. I promised that I'd do the Raditz Secret Rare one. I think that's going to be the one that comes out tomorrow, but I played a different version that I was already working on, which is more like an aggro-based version, and it did really well. I went 3-1 at locals, only losing to Universe 6 veggies, and I think this deck can have a chance if I'm able to side into stuff, but I simply wasn't able to in our best of one format, and I just really wanted to push my win condition for this deck, and which I felt was really good and consistent. So that was really cool, and yeah, let's just jump into it. Also, I normally don't do these like live deck profiles, just because I don't want to like waste people's times in that kind of sense. But so if you just want the actual deck list, it's in the description as always. I just felt like for this deck there were a lot of interactions, and I wanted to kind of touch and move the cards to do it. So with that out of the way, let's get started. So the leader from the new structure deck is a red Saiyan. Has the permanent. You can't include non-Saiyan cards. Non-Saiyan battle cards in your deck, which is like the least restrictive one of these like deck building constraints. There are so many Saiyans, as you can imagine. So that's not too bad. But it's more specifically red and green Saiyans because all the rest of the effects kind of only affect them. But and then also active battle once, or not, sorry, active main once per turn. Choose one card in your life, add it to your hand, then look at the top 5 cards of your deck for one red or green Saiyan or a King Vegeta's Dynasty. And also, which is our awakening condition. So awaken when you have King Vegeta's Dynasty in your battle area and 3 or more energy. You may wait. Sorry, let me make sure I read it right. 3 or more energy. You may draw one card, choose up to one of your energy, switch it active, and flip this card over. It's kind of unfortunate that you have to have that 3 or more energy condition, just because some decks like Universe 6 Kaba can kind of aggro you down on turn 2 and not leave you a lot of options, especially if you can't have the defense swing of being able to draw one and tap one and get an extra 5k halfway through their turn. So that can be kind of discouraging, and kind of makes this a little bit more important than other leaders to go first. But other than that, I think it's fine. And then on the Awaken side, it has a really cool effect of, so it's active main once per turn. You get one of these 2 effects. You either get to send one of your battle cards to one of your green, red. Let me see. One of your red or green, Saiyan cards in your battle area placed in your drop area. If you do draw one, and this card gives plus 5k power and double strike for duration of the turn. Or you can play choose one battle card in your hand with an energy cost of 2 or less and play it with a skill negated for the duration of the turn, then draw one card. So both their draw effects are based off of just doing the thing. You don't have to swing, and just in general, you don't have to swing with this leader at all to gain advantage, which I really like about him. There are a lot of leaders that kind of base that as a control strategy, though we're kind of aggro with this deck. Just in general, love this leader, and just the fact that you're able to kind of go just either gain the energy advantage by playing a 2-drop early, or being able to give your leader double strike. I think both those are really potent abilities, and so let's go into the actual deck. So first, let's look at King Vegeta's Dynasty. I'm running 3 because I like to live on the edge, and also if we get these in our hand, then we can't do anything with them anymore, because we can't charge them, and we don't really have a way to discard them. So I'm only running 3. It's normally not an issue. I had one game where I couldn't awaken normally you want to awaken on turn 3 every time, and I've only had one game where that wasn't the case, and it was brutal. But I think running 3 is the right choice. And so what's it do? So it's a red-green card, so that's why it has energy exhaust. But when this card is placed in your battle area, and your leader card is a King Vegeta card. Also, it's one specific green too, which is important. But when this card is placed in your battle area, if your leader card is a King Vegeta card, choose up to one Saiyan card with energy cost 2 or less in your hand, play it with its skill negated for duration of the turn. You played a card, draw 2. So the fact that you're able to just play something for 2 energy, you get to play 2 cards and draw 2 cards, which is great. And then you get to awaken it as well, so that's fantastic. And also, when your opponent attacks with a card, you may choose one red card in your energy, switch to rest mode, and place this card in its owner's drop area if you do negate the attack. So this also has like a negate ability as part of it. which is fantastic in a lot of ways. Sure, you do have to use a red energy, and it's only good once, but I think it's good and it helps out this deck a lot. And it's really our technically only negate in this deck, so I think that's important. So let's look at the cards we're able to get with this 2 or less, and this also applies for the leaders, a green or red Saiyan with 2 or less. So first we've got Pan, great card. So what she does is that auto, when you play this card, choose to one of your red leader cards or red battle cards. That card gains plus 5k power for duration of the turn. And then also, when you combo this card from the battle area, draw 1. So with its skill negated, this is probably one of the best targets for it. Just the fact that when it goes back to your opponent's turn, this turns into a super combo. Being able to be, you don't get the 5k boost, but just the fact that you're able to combo and draw 1 with it is great and just helps out the deck a lot. So additionally, giving 5k boosts to things can help, and just a great card. Next up, we've got Intensifying Power Trunks, just a fantastic card for any deck running red in general. Being able to do crit damage is fine, and Self Awaken is good, and all that. And so we also are running the new Anniversary Box Trunks, so we're running 4 of him. So auto, once per turn, when this card gains power, or when this card's power is increased by a skill during your turn, draw 1 card. So we have a couple ways to do that already. We can see that we can do it with Pan. So you get to draw another one, and that's a 20k and all that. And then also just a bit of a cheat. So we can do our super combo as well. For the awakened side of our leader, on the second side, we have to summon something. We can't choose up. It's not choose up to 1. It's choose 1 exactly. So you have to choose something. And so if you need to, you can play your use your super combo, and you can still combo and get the draw from the field. It's just more vulnerable there, but just something to keep in mind, and can help you out there in case you're kind of strapped for that. So there's all that, and then of course, since we're running these trunks, we're running 3 chain attacks. We can maybe pump it up to 4, but just the fact that the quick combo you can see from here is that I can go use for free. Like, so an example of turn 3 is that you play King Vegeta's Dynasty, tap 2, play a Trunks for free, and then awaken. So untap 1, so you got 2 energy, and then you can evolve this on top of the Trunks, and so now you have chain attack, and then you get to summon something else, and all that. So a lot of synergy there. That's a pretty good burst turn, and you will see some good targets for that coming up. So also, as part of this, we're running 3 Familiar Bonds. Fantastic card. We're running a red leader, and so pretty much more or less all the targets that we choose for this are the same as the chain attack ones. So that's fantastic. And we're also running 4 4-star balls just because we're greedy. This is always so. This has actually a lot more synergy than you'd imagine, but just the fact that you're able to get like +2 is fantastic. This leader is actually able to generate so much value. It's crazy. But yeah, just the fact you're able to do that, and you're already using this effect anyways. And since for the awakened side for this, or sorry, for the unawakened side, the card draw is looking at top 5. Since you want these stuck in our deck, it's really easy to keep them there, since we're not drawing as much as we are like searching top 5 for cards. So fantastic there. And let's look at the cards that we're able to get. So first MVP, Fearless Pan, fantastic card. So this is a barrier blocker, but the real good thing about her is that when you play her, you choose all your red battle cards and red leader cards except for herself, and they gain +5k and double strike. So as you'll see, you can make a really wide board, and then just drop a Pan, and then everything becomes an end game threat. So really like her, fantastic. Once again, you can get it from either of these cards. In worst case, you can just summon her, and she's a barrier blocker that can be kind of annoying to get rid of. So and even if she does die, so like for example, you can chain attack her out, give something double strike, put a little pressure, use this as barrier blocker next, to make sure you're alive for next turn, and then just use Familiar Bonds to bring her right back. Like, that's absurd. And a lot of value there. So that's one card. Next up, we've got Vegeta, Unyielding Temperament. I'm a little bit, I don't know, this didn't perform as well as I thought it would. Maybe I just didn't get off, but just the fact that you're able to, it's a 15k crit, and then when it dies, you summon a, let me see, choose up to 1 red battle card with an original energy cost of 2 or less from your hand, play it with its skill negated for the duration of the turn. So it's when this card is KO'd or placed by an opponent's skill, choose up to 1 red battle card. So being able to, like, for example, you can get out any of your trunks, you can get like one of these out, and then its skills are negated for the rest of the turn, but then next turn you can keep it up. Also, I forgot to mention, so this cares about getting boosts on your turn, and these balls, they give a boost. They're not combo power. They give the power to the card. So this, if you use a 4-star ball on a trunks, you get a draw card too. So that's just more value from there that I forgot to mention. Nice little combo there. And so just being able to just float and just have a 15k crit that your opponent's kind of afraid to get rid of, because they can invest energy to get rid of it, and then they lose tempo, right? You get another card out, and it could be better. So, and then also we're running 4 of these what is it, Oblivious Rampage Son Goku. So this can also be, it's a 15k Saiyan. It's also an evolve for 2 reds, which made me kind of think if I want to run like the 1-drop red Son Goku. But so this is critical. Also active main, once per turn, burst 3. Choose 1 of your battle cards and KO it, and if you do, switch this card to active mode. So just the fact that this has pretty much a dual attack crit, combined with Fearless Pan can be devastating, and the fact that it KOs something means you can KO your Vegeta, which means Vegeta will bring something else out because it's KO'd or removed from the battle by your opponent's skill. I don't think I'd have to check for absolute sure, but it just says when this card is KO'd or placed in a drop area by an opponent's skill. So KOing doesn't matter, and they've done a really good job to make sure that there are very little KO skills, but this is one of them because it's supposed to work for like the bandages chain. So there's that. And then lastly, we have to have some green in this deck because we need to be able to actually play our plan or whatever, or King Vegeta's, whatever. I don't even know the name of it, but so we're running 3 of these Khalifas and 3 of these Super Saiyan Son Gokus. So a bunch of stuff for this. First, also, if I had 4 of these Khalifas on hand, I'd run 4 of them, but I only have 3, so there. I'm also running these Dauntless Kales, so just the fact that you're able to play this for free off of your, I'm going to look it up, either your King Vegeta's Dynasty or your Leader Effect, means that you're able to just get these out for free. So they're just, free 20Ks, which are fantastic. If you're playing this Khalifa, you get all these Dauntless Kales out, which means that not only are there blockers, but you can, if you swarm the field, if you have like 3 of these in hand, you can play all 3 of them, and then if you can also get Fearless Pan to go off on the same turn, you're able to just have a bunch of 10k double strikes that any of them can threaten lethal or something like that. So that can be a fantastic finisher. Also, the fact that if you need like another just easy thing to KO with this Oblivious Rampage on Goku, then that's also a really good combo there. Can you combo this with? Yeah, it's KOing the card is a cost, so you can't just do that. So one really annoying thing about this Khalifa is that if it survives, you can't KO your own stuff with your own skills, which means you can't KO with this, and you also can't KO a card with the first effect to give this card double strike. So that's just like a weird thing to watch out for. I haven't had it become a situation yet, but that's just a ruling to keep in mind. But yeah, both of these are good. And I only have to really run 7 because you're able to look the top 5 of your deck every turn, and you don't need to have a green card until turn 3. So being able to just look for there, and then on turn 2 make sure that you're find a green card in your hand, then you should be fine. So I think that's fine. You can maybe even go a little bit ballsier if you want. You'd never charge these because you need the energy as much as you can. Yeah, you just charge a green card and go from there. But I think that's all the interactions I wanted to go through. Another thing is that so these give an extra 5k boost to anything with its skill or anything without a skill. And as far as I'm aware, I'm 99% sure this is true. If you have a card with its skill negated, it counts as a skillless card and it gets the extra boost. So if you play like this Khalifa off of your King Vegeta's Dynasty, then you're just able to draw, get an extra 10k or 5k boost on this because it has its skill negated. So there is that. But however, if you give something double strike, that's with the skill negated, it has double strike, which is a skill, which means that you don't get the extra 5k boost. So a lot of particular things there, but I'm actually really happy with how much synergy this card has with the deck, and how it's not just, even if it was an empty extra 5k from this familiar bond, I'm just happy that it gets even more from there. So if you want to run 4 of this card, I think that's worth it. If you want to run 4 of this chain attack, you can. But just the fact that you're able to look at the top 5 of your deck with your leader just helps out the consistency so much. You just find the cards you need, you fill up your spots, and since the ratios we're running and all that, it's not very hard to do that. So that's going to be the deck for me. It's really fun to play, and you can just go off. Just the fact that you're on a turn 4. Here, let me do this. So on turn 4 on an empty field, you could do something like this. So you could do, your free summon from leader. You can play, let's say you play this Trunks here, or how about even let's say you play the Khalifa. That's probably the better play. So you play Khalifa for free, and then you have like 2 Kales in hand. So you still haven't paid an energy. You have all that. Then you use familiar bonds, and you get this for free. Or even if you just pay 2 for this, or even if you just pay 1 for this, in some way you get one of these out, these Trunks out, and then you can just go into chain attack, into Pan. Where's Pan? Where'd she go? There she is. And there we go. Because this play is 4 energy. If we do 1, 2, 2, so yeah. So let's just say that you played it. So you can either do familiar bond into there, or you could just do let's see, or you can just play this. You need to get this out somehow by either using familiar bond or with combo attack or chain attack. So you either just do this into this, something that, or you play this, and then you get to play familiar bonds to find this from your drop area, and then you also get to draw a card because this the pan boosts it, and go from there. So a lot of synergy there, a lot of potential, and then all these. So you have 4 double strikers, 2 20Ks, 2 10Ks. You still have a 20K and a 15K coming at you. And if you also just played like the 1, you can even have like 2 of these out instead of this, which has more pressure. And you can even have like a pan out if you played 1 for there. So a lot of potential. Just a big board to swing at. You have to be afraid of Nimbus, but even if they do Nimbus, you have 3 blockers out, and depending on how you use your energy, you might even have a negate up with your planet. So. And then you can just go into the combo again next turn, especially if you have a familiar bonds in hand and your pan dies. So that's pretty much the deck. You just make a really big field, and then you use Fearless Pan to give it everything double strike. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I recommend trying it out. It's a really cheap deck. I think you can build this for probably like $20. Nothing too crazy. Just get. Probably the most expensive thing is having 3 King Vegeta's Dynasty. I wouldn't run with 2. That's probably a little bit too small, and I'm kind of upset they only give you 2 in the starter deck, but that's for a different video, I guess. So this is probably the most expensive card, and it's not too bad. You probably have 3 is the minimum. 4 would be great. 2 is probably too little, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like this deck, and I'll catch you all next time.